Hello, my Italian food fanatics. Today, we're going to make a classic Italian salad called Panzanella. It's basically a salad with croutons. It is quintessentially Italian in the sense that they never throw anything away, and it was made to use up old stale bread. We're not going to use old stale bread. We're going to use bread that's not exactly brand new, but I have some baguette that's older. We'll put some olive oil, salt and pepper on that, and then put the croutons, in this case, a little larger than croutons, in the oven, toast them, and then we're going to use stone fruit, which is basically fruit with pits. So we use a peach, nectarine, some apricots, and some cherries, along with burrata, and we'll make a nice vinaigrette with a little lemon juice, some red wine vinegar. You see my mouth is watering just talking about it. And some 100% California extra virgin olive oil, organic of course. We use a little bit of extremely old balsamic vinegar, and we're also going to take some of that lemon zest and some basil and some tomatoes, some heirloom tomatoes, and put them in there as well. So without further ado, let's get into the kitchen and make this thing. Oh, by the way, before we go, you know it's obligatory for me. Hit the thumbs up button, like, subscribe, and ring the bell so you know when I release another video. Share with your friends because sharing is caring. And please leave a comment if you have a moment to do so. All right, now that the commercial's out of the way, let's get in the kitchen and make this wonderful summer salad. All right, let's get started. For our stone fruit panzanella, we're going to need some bread, some baguette bread. I have some left over here. In fact, that's what you want to use for this particular salad, is an older leftover bread. We'll use some 100% California extra virgin olive oil, organic of course, a little bit of red wine vinegar. We'll use a little bit of balsamic vinegar, a little bit of lemon, a clove of garlic, and our stone fruit and basil. This includes, obviously, basil. We have a peach, we have a nectarine, we have some apricots, and some cherries. They're all in season. It's summer now. It's perfect for this type of a salad. And we'll use burrata. All right? Of course, salt and pepper as well. First things that we have to do are to cut up our bread into crouton-sized pieces, and we're going to toss them with a little bit of olive oil, put them in the oven. We're going to cut up our fruit, remove the pits or the stones out of our stone fruit, wash the basil, and I'm going to use some of the zest from the lemon, and we'll get started. So let me do all of this, and we'll come back. All right, here I have our bread. What I've done is I've gone ahead and cut the baguette this way into 3 pieces. And then what I'm going to do is cut down the center like this and make pieces of bread just this size. They don't have to be perfect, but it's nice to keep them uniform. And the reason for that is because, number one, it looks better on the plate, but more importantly, when we put them in the oven, they're going to cook more evenly if they are the same size. So let me just take care of this, and we'll be back. All right, I've cut up our baguette bread into about medium-sized pieces, and we're going to add a little bit of olive oil here now, and we're going to mix these up and then put them on a sheet tray and roast them in a 450-degree oven. It's at about 425 now. If we're lucky, you'll hear the beep go off. So we get them saturated and spread all of the olive oil around. And I'm going to cook these until they're pretty crisp. I do not like soggy bread. I don't like it in sandwiches, like, for example, a Italian beef from Chicago that is doused in au jus. I don't like that at all. I like the bread to be dry. And so for that reason, when I make panzanella, I like to have these very, very well browned and not hard, but not soft either. All right, so there's a happy medium there. We're also going to add a little bit of salt and some pepper to this, and I'll put them on a sheet tray, and I'll see you when I get back, when these are done. All right, fresh out of the oven. That's exactly what we want our croutons to look like. You can still see, I don't know if you can see the smoke that's coming off of it, but look how beautifully golden brown they are. Some of these that were smaller pieces that are a little bit more done, depending on how done they are, we're either going to keep them or discard them. But for the most part, I only see maybe 2 or 3 little pieces like this one here. But other than that, they're perfect. We're going to let them cool down just a little bit while we prepare the rest of the ingredients. I'll be back. All right, it's time for us to make our dressing or a vinaigrette. I'm going to take the garlic, get it all out of here that we've minced finely. And I don't use a garlic press most of the time. I do own one, but for operations like this, I think it's best if you hand mince it. I'm going to add a little bit of lemon juice in there. We're going to add our vinegar, red wine vinegar. We're going to finish the salad with the balsamic vinegar. So in this case, we're just going to whisk in our olive oil. It's not going to create a permanent emulsion. We'll probably have to come back and revisit whisking this just prior to putting the salad together. But we'll take a few seconds here and incorporate this as well as possible for the time being. Now I've added a little bit of extra olive oil, more than I normally would, and the reason for that is because we're going to add balsamic at the end, and we do that to create a balanced flavor. So we'll add a little bit of salt into here. I'm not going to add any pepper because I like to grate that fresh over the salad itself. A little bit more. That's very good. And we'll give that a little bit of a taste. Let's see. I'll just whisk this some more. And that's perfect. It has less of an acidic taste because I put more olive oil, and that extra virgin olive oil from California is very fruity and absolutely delicious for this use. So I'm going to bring all the other elements together and we'll finish making the salad. Be right back. All right, here we have our stone fruit, our nectarines, peaches, cherries, and apricots that have been destoned or the pits taken out. I've cut the cherries in half and I've cut the other fruit into wedges. We have our croutons, which have cooled down, or our bread. I have our basil here that's been washed and taken off the stem. We have some heirloom cherry tomatoes, which I forgot to mention in the beginning of the video, believe it or not, but that's okay. If you're watching this far, you're interested, and that shouldn't make that big of a deal for you, all right? So these are our elements. Remember, we also have our lemon zest and our balsamic vinegar, and of course our dressing, which we made just a moment ago. So I'll come back 2 seconds, we'll put this all together and then go for a taste. All right, first things first, we want to add our stone fruit into a large bowl. Next, we'll add our tomatoes, and of course our bread. We'll take some of the basil leaves and tear them up and put them in here. Now it's very important, I used a smaller bowl than I normally would use, for example, out in industry. We have large, very, very large bowls. And the reason for that is because when you mix these things up by hand, what you want is to be very, very gentle, and you don't want pressure on the different elements of the salad. So not only are the bowls a lot bigger and wider, but they allow your hand to get under there and to do all of those things that you would normally do with a spoon in a regular household, but very, very gently, because looks are literally everything when it comes to salad or any food for that matter. So what we want to do is, because these are in season and ripe, we want to be very, very gentle with what we're doing here, okay? Now, we'll add in our dressing. We'll whisk that again As I mentioned, we probably have to revisit doing that and drizzle it onto the salad, trying to not only evenly distribute it, but also mix it while we're doing that as well. That's perfect. We'll give it another real quick mix, very, very gently and lightly. All right. That's beautiful. Look at all of the colors. I mean, this is a summer salad to die for. Now, we're going to add the coup de grace, which is the burrata. We're just going to take the burrata and pinch it into there. You see, it's like stone fruit and cream and a little bit of, I'm going to get some of this in here too. And we have another little ball of it here. You have to be careful. Sometimes this stuff comes out of it. But oh boy, look at this. Now just imagine that balsamic vinegar tossed in as well to go so well with the burrata. There we go. How sweet it is. Now that's a salad. All right, I'll come back and we'll plate it up and take a taste. Well, you saw me put it together. Oh, look at that. And now it's time to take a little bit of a taste and to see how good this salad really is. Now, obviously, I'm not going to take and eat out of the presentation plate. That would be a little uncouth. So I'm going to take a little bit here, put it in another bowl. Now, as I mentioned earlier, I'm not a big fan of soggy croutons. I just, for whatever reason, I don't like the texture. And so that's why I went ahead and really toasted these croutons well. And you can see that they still retain their crunch. Wow. This is so good. It is summer for me right now. It's hotter than Hades. And believe it or not, this is a salad that would literally cool you down. It's refreshing, it's fresh, it has the sweet, it has the sour, it has the crunch, it has the creaminess of the burrata, the balsamic vinegar, the tomatoes, everything's there. And then, of course, you get hit with the basil. Oh man, is that good. And then the cherries and the different textures of the different fruits. You may not think that tomatoes are fruit, but tomato is a fruit. And so the tomatoes have a certain texture to them, and they're heirlooms, so they're totally different from one another, of course. But what a salad. You have to try this. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and eat the whole thing. Please try this salad. There's no rules. You can do whatever you want. If you only have one type of fruit, just add one type of fruit. It's going to work. Make sure you have the basil. If you don't have burrata, it's okay. You can add mozzarella, fresh mozzarella. It's basically the same thing, except burrata has the cream inside of it with the stracciatella, with the with the rags. Anyway, hit the thumbs up button, like, subscribe, ring the bell so you know when I release another video, because I want you to know when I release another video. Share. Sharing is caring. Share with your friends. Tell your neighbors. Get on the roof and yell, and leave a comment down below, please. Okay, wherever you are in the world, I thank you very much for following my channel. This is a symbiotic relationship. If you don't get something out of it, neither do I. Wherever you are, please, I hope you're having a great day. I wish you good health, happiness, and prosperity. And I'll see you in the next video.